The Bow Mistress. The Silent Killer. This is Ivara, the Huntress Warframe. Ivara uses stealth and arrow to strike from the shadows. She is inherently designed around stealth. Ivara's passive gives her an increased radar, allowing her to see enemies on her minimap from 20 meters further than usual. This stacks with other sources of enemy radar. Whether or not this is useful depends on the individual. For me, I don't use it very often, but for some people it will be a very valuable asset. Ivara's first ability is another one of those abilities that has multiple cycling abilities. Tapping the ability button for Quiver will cycle between 4 abilities. Holding the ability button will cast the selected arrow. Cloak Arrow creates a small radius where it lands that makes Ivara and her allies invisible for as long as they remain in the bubble. This arrow can also be attached to allies and enemies if you hit them. Up to 3 cloak arrows can be active at any given time. This makes it possible to give allies invisibility on frames that normally don't have it, or turn rescue targets invisible, making it harder for them to get killed. Only issues is hitting your allies while they're moving around frantically. It really is only viable if you're really good at aiming your bow, or your ally asks you to hit them. Dash Wire Arrow allows Ivara to create up to 4 zip lines that start from her fire point and end up to 100 meters away where the arrow lands. Noise Arrow attracts unalerted enemies within 20 meters of where it lands. This will not alert unalerted enemies, but can be used to lead enemies and group them easier if they aren't already alerted. Sleep Arrow will put enemies to sleep within 6 meters of where it lands. Enemies put to sleep by Sleep Arrow are open to finisher attacks. Enemies will remain alerted or unalerted after the end of the duration. The effect ends when either the duration ends, or the enemies fall below half their current health. Quiver is an ability that has a tool for a number of situations, but I would say in most locations, Cloak and Dash Wire are especially useful. Being able to be invisible is useful in almost every situation, and having a vantage point while invisible can make it a lot easier to deal with your enemies. Navigator allows Ivara to Yondu her projectiles. Activating Navigator lets Ivara take control of object projectiles to maneuver them in ways they normally can't. The projectile moves slower and gains increased damage per second. However, you can speed up the speed of the projectile by holding the fire button. This allows you to more easily direct things like arrows, including arrows from Quiver. Most objects gain infinite punch through, such as arrows. However, other effects such as other abilities placed on Ivara will not gain punch through. Prowl causes Ivara to become invisible. Ivara gains bonus weak point damage and half movement speed while invisible, and is able to pickpocket items off of enemies within range. This can help Ivara generate energy, health, ammo, and any other item that enemy may already drop. If Ivara performs a bullet jump, slide, or sprints, she will deactivate Prowl. Firing weapons that make noise will also deactivate the ability temporarily. The exception to this rule are zip lines, meaning the Dash Wire Arrow can help Ivara move faster and remain unseen. Prowl consumes energy while stationary and more energy while moving, so be aware of your energy while activating the ability. Drawing out her exalted weapons, Ivara's Artemis bow fires powerful shots that deal primarily puncture damage. Ivara fires a volley of arrows vertically when the fire button is tapped, or horizontally while charged. Using alternate fire will instantly shoot the chosen quiver arrow, expending the same amount of energy. As an exalted weapon, Artemis' bow is fully moddable. Ivara isn't my personal favorite, but she definitely fits other players' playstyles. So if you like stealth-based frames and the Hunter or Huntress archetype, I'd say take a look at her. At rank 30, Ivara has 280 HP, 370 shields, 105 armor, and 265 energy. She has a Nerimon aura, along with 1 Nerimon and 1 Vazarin polarity. Ivara Prime has an additional 185 shields, 20 armor, 35 energy, and an additional Madurai polarity. Ivara is a little odd in how to get her, so bear with me. I'll try to make it simple. Ivara's blueprints are awarded from spy missions, depending on what kind of planet the mission is performed on. Her parts are awarded whenever all vaults are hacked without alarms going off. Her main blueprint and her neuroptics are from spy missions on the following planets: her chassis from these planets, and system from these planets. Now let's see Ivara in action one last time. Hunt with honor, Tenno. 1 shot, 1 kill.